Junkers also use diesel engines in some of their aircraft as well. It's a flak gun. Here we have a Russian Gaz, 1943. So that was their version of the Willis Jeep, I would imagine. Okay, more to follow. This is another model I have. This is a Heinkel HE 111. Look at that. With its blue paint scheme, blue, black and yellow. Fearsome looking aircraft. It's actually bigger than I thought. A huge wingspan, that's for sure. Let's follow this around. Pardon. Okay, now we have what's left of a Stuka Ju-87. Look at that. This has all obviously been buried for a long time. Let's have a look, see what it says. Okay, it doesn't give much of a history. Wait. Let's have a look here. Okay, this was salvaged in 1989 from the Mediterranean Sea near Saint-Tropez from 90 meters depth by a German-French diving team. Wow, so look at that. This is the famous Stuka. What always amazes me are the engine mountings. They look so fragile. It's a heavy engine on the front of the aircraft. Yeah. Wow, so much corrosion. Some nice models as well. Okay. We have some BMW motorcycles, DKW, Motor Guzzi, D-Rad. From an old book I had, the German Army also used British Norton motorcycles prior to the Second World War. Not a lot of people know that. Condor. It's Swiss and has reverse gear. This is Swiss as well, Sauder, from 1952. Not a very powerful engine, 72 brake horsepower. Anyway, more to follow. Okay, I'm trying to get a better view of this Heinkel HE 111. It's so huge. Okay, we have a Russian helicopter hanging up. Let's have a look at this one. Okay, this is an Antonov AN2 Russian. Yeah, it's right there, AN2. Oh, it's a biplane. Okay, here we have a Pratt & Whitney 14 cylinder. I don't know where the 14 are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't count 14, but there we are. What's interesting is how the conrods are connected. There's a master conrod, and all the other conrods come off that one. Very, very clever idea. So they also use these in double rows, triple rows. There we are, look at that over there. You see this double row over there. Okay. Let's move on up. There's an arrow from 1974, so that's relatively new. And what do we have here? Of course, it's the Messerschmitt 109G. Again, this is the Gustav, one of the last of the variants they made, as far as I know. With Daimler-Benz engine. You know, 1,435 horsepower. The Spitfire had to catch up with the horsepower, so that's why, like, the Griffin was a much more powerful engine, and then it was a really good match for this. Amazing. There we are. A VW Cafe. Volkswagen extremely rare. This was built between 1943 and 1945. And this later became the Beetle. I mean, to me it's hard to distinguish the difference between this and the Beetle. Wow, incredible history. Full track, there we go. This must have been uncomfortable to ride in, especially on hard roads. This dates from 1942. Yeah, I don't think that would be very comfortable. Zend up. There's a searchlight. There we go. Volkswagen Schwimmen Wagon. So obviously this can swim. From 1942. Again, very low power, 25 horsepower. It was powered by an air-cooled 1.1 litre four-cylinder boxer engine with 25 horsepower. So that's, for me, strange that they would use such a small engine. Okay, Kubel wagon from 1941. Again, 25 horsepower, four-cylinder. This is a small jet engine, which was used to power gliders and single-seat helicopters. So it says here it was a dream of a glider pilot to have an engine. Yeah, and once it had taken off and reached its optimum height, they could just turn it off. So obviously there's no weight in this. Probably the fuel weighs more than the motor. Here we go. Here we go. The Rolls-Royce Griffin. Until 1945, this aircraft engine was the most powerful Rolls-Royce piston engine. It was used for powering English one-seater fighter plane, the Supermarine Spitfire Mark 7. No, Mark 12, sorry. So like I say, they went from about 1,200 horsepower, I believe, to 1,005 with the Merlin, and then this Griffin became 2,375. So that's one really powerful engine. Again, the pre-Beetle VW Cafe 82E from 1943 with its 25 horsepower engine. Okay, this is a Panther, 1942 to 95, 700 horsepower, 12 cylinder, 5 crew, 120mm gun, and apparently this was destroyed by its own crew, so it was probably close to being captured, but rather than the Allies get their hands on it, they blew it up. So this is what's left. So what they've done, they've suspended half the gearbox or the internals, and there's not much else left. And then you can see the plate thickness, the whole thickness, I hope. Okay, this is a Russian ship diesel engine, 42 cylinder, 4,000 horsepower. Gunboats and small combat ships, fuel consumption was 680 litres of diesel per hour. Wow. Imagine what that would cost running that today. So there we go, look at that. Okay, here we have the Sherman, known as the Ronson lighter or the Tommy cooker, because they burst into flames with their petrol engines. So here we are under the Ju-52. This Lockheed Starfighter was nicknamed the Widowmaker because 116 German pilots were killed with these things. They would break up, they were notorious. And what people don't know, maybe, is that the U-2 spy plane is a modified Lockheed Starfighter with longer wings and greater fuel capacity, but that's basically the U-2 spy plane is a Starfighter modified. Some more useless information, but there we are. I'm not charging for it. There we go. So the French were using the Sherman. Okay. Panzer Kampfwagen 3. Maybach 12-cylinder engine. 5-man crew again. A short stubby gun. Okay, so this is an Italian, they call it motorcycle.